How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great, thank you. A couple of questions. One, what are some of the personal goals you set for yourself this season, and what did you learn about yourself from this off season?
Personal goals I always set for myself is be better than I was last year. There's a lot of things that I feel like I could work on to be better. So those are things that I kind of focused on and tried to focus on in the off season. And when it came to the off season and what I've learned about myself, I think the biggest thing that I learned about myself is running my own race at my own pace. I felt like last year I didn't get too high with my highs, I didn't get too low with my lows, and I still was managed enough to still produce for my team at a high level. And I love that for myself and for my team because we play well. And that's just really what I've learned. And I've continued to just use that not only in my career-wise basketball, but also in life with myself. It's just running my own race.
Rafik?
This is Rafik with the But That Sports. So how you doing today, Asia?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Yeah. First off, after the last couple of preseason games in preparation for the upcoming season, like, what are your overall thoughts about yourself as the WNBA MVP that you are?
I'm very, very happy about how conditioned I'm in. Normally, sometimes it takes me a minute to kind of get back in game shape because I literally haven't played since I left Mohegan Sun that night. And so I think that's the biggest thing. I think the pace of the game is going to be huge when it comes to this year. And I'm excited that I can keep up with it a little bit, but we're going to keep trying to get better at it. But I'm excited to just get out there and play. I've been bored for a couple of months, so I'm excited to give me something to do.
Emily?
Hey, a lot of the rookies from South Carolina have talked about feeling very prepared coming into the league this year. Do you remember feeling similarly when you made the transition from college to the W? And kind of what about South Carolina's program do you think, is preparing players well to make that jump?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% felt that way. I remember when I scored like probably my first legit basket, because my first basket was like a weird breakaway layup. But my first legit basket, I was like, ooh, okay, I can still get to the basket. So it's pretty cool to kind of see that I could translate over well into the league. And I think the preparation just comes from Coach Daly, and maybe not necessarily what she tells, like walks us through in X's and O's, but more so about the mentality about how to approach the league, and also just how to just go out there and do exactly your job. And I think that's what Coach Daly instills in us those 4 years. And then you have no choice because now you're a part of it when you get to the league.
John?
Aja, I believe you're the reigning defensive player of the year and have led the league in blocks twice in the past 3 years. So what's the secret to being a great defender?
Secret of being a great defender. I guess the want. You have to want it. And I know growing up, they always would tell us, like, defense wins championships, you got to want it more. And now as I get older, I start to realize, no, that's a legit thing. It's the want factor. And also the trust factor. My guards trust me in a way that I could be the anchor to our defense. And that right there gives me all the want that I need to make sure that I'm there for them to hold it down as much as I can. So I never would have thought, if you would have asked Asia in South Carolina, would she ever win a defensive player in the pros, she would laugh at you because I don't play defense. But now looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I always like to rub it into Coach Daly because she doubted me on the defensive end.
MA?
Yeah, Asia, I wanted to ask a little about the difficulty when it comes to repeating, right? It's hard in all pro sports, but maybe hardest of all, it seems like, in the WNBA. You guys are going to be trying to do that. It's been a long time, other than the obvious fact that it is such a tough league with so much talent. Are there other factors you think that make it difficult? And have you thought a little bit about that going into this season?
Yes, I think the biggest thing that I kind of saw, and I keep telling myself, is that the journey's not going to look the same. And I think that's a key factor. And mentally, it's like, if we don't start off 13-2, we can't just blow up and be like, oh my God, because we don't start off that way, we're not going to win it, because that's how we were close to starting off last year. Like, I think, and that's what I keep telling myself is like, Asia, it doesn't matter what you eat for breakfast. It's okay. Like, I try to get into the factor of it has to look this way because that's what it took to get to win. And it's not necessarily going to look that way. So I think that approach is something that we kind of got to get past and then just run our race and just play our game.
Thank you.
Mr. Duncan?
Hi, Asia. A couple
quick ones for you. One, I asked during your MVP press conference, but I ask again, are we getting the podcast back anytime soon? And two, what has the chemistry building process been like on the defensive end with Candace and Alicia in the lineup now?
Yes, to answer your podcast question, excuse me, I do not know. I haven't heard anything, so I'm so sorry about that one. I did have a lot of fun. And to answer your defensive question, it's really starting to come together. Some days we look like complete crap. Some days we look like not complete crap, but we look better. Like, and it's going to take time. I think that's another thing on the defensive end is trusting that, but having a voice like AC there, and then obviously Candace, we're big, and I think that kind of can play in our in our favor as well. But it's coming together. We're meshing together day by day, and it's all it's going to take is someone to break it down for us to be like, all right, let's focus in. So it's coming together.
All right, we got time for a couple more. Jose?
Asia, thank you again for doing this so much as always. My question for you, basically, I mean, you're coming into this season now. You talk about family and what the family aspect is of it, right? Can you tap in a little bit with us and tell us how it is for you guys off the court? Because you guys seem like you're having fun. It's always a family atmosphere with you guys no matter what, and how that can transcend into the court for you guys to be successful this season as well.
Yeah, I think it's a huge thing. It's just becoming our culture and who we are. I feel like we make it very family-like. We make it like a sisterhood here. We joke with each other. Some days we roll our eyes at each other, but we love each other at the end of the day. And that comes from just playing along, always building that chemistry. And I think with the additions that we have this year, they're meshing in just fine and probably better than a lot. And we're just starting to just really just learn about each other as teammates. And that's the most fun about it. It's just getting to press those buttons a little bit, seeing what makes people mad, sad, happy, and always be able to lift each other up. So that I feel like that's our culture and what we stand for. And we invite people in that are down for that.
All right, Christos, close us out.
Christos.
Hey, Asia, hope you're doing well. Going to the season, question for you, how tough, how big challenge for you is to be consistently great in this league, in a high demanding league like WNBA, and how important, what you need to do to bring your A game night in and night out?
I mean, I've tried my best since rookie year to always bring my A game, because the one time that you don't, it hurts really, really bad, because our league is just good. Our league is elite. It's probably the best league. And we're very good pros at what we do. And I think just to bring your A game mentally, I'm just making sure that I'm present for my teammates always and helping them understand that I have their back no matter what, and we play for each other. And it's hard to do that night in and night out, because some days you may not have it, but understanding that you can't get too high with your highs and you can't get too low with your lows.
All right, thank you very much, Asia. We will be back with Jackie Young momentarily.